Hi everyone, my name is Anthony Gallegos, and I'm here with Greg Miller.
Hey Anthony, I'm blessed. I've never done one of these commentaries over at the commentary station.
So we're playing the SimCity.
We are playing the SimCity. I'm very, very excited,
This is
Anthony.
the closed beta that's going on right now. Few people have been lucky enough to get into. We've been lucky enough to get into.
Yes.
So Greg, I know that SimCity is a big deal to you.
SimCity is a huge deal to me, Anthony. You know I hate PC gaming with a passion.
I know that it's not that you hate it.
I don't.
It's just that it can be.
Lower your swords, everybody.
It can be a little bit of. There's a certain level of like barrier to entry.
Exactly. And for me, that's always been the problem, right? Is the fact that I don't like that they already built my city already. First off.
Well, it's a beta, so they only give you a
know.
short amount of time, so they want you to be able to do things.
Yeah. Anyways, I don't hate PC gaming. No, there's always a problem with it for me though. Something always goes wrong when I try to play PC games. So I have stayed away from it, except for when we have to review cross-platform games and yada da da da. And so what I did is finally bought a gaming PC for SimCity. When they announced SimCity, Anthony, I said I'm gonna buy it.
Yeah, I haven't played a really SimCity since SimCity 2000, pretty much myself. So
yeah, I played SimCity 2000 is my jam. That's the one I put the most into, and then I've touched on the other ones since then, but with college and everything else going on.
So you've put quite a bit of time into SimCity already.
Correct. Yeah, I was lucky enough to go to Maxis and play with a bunch of other journalists about 6 hours of SimCity.
You can read that preview on IGN.com right now.
You can, and now I understand what's happening. This is the same. This is the tutorial everyone will play when we get going, as far as like how to get going.
So the first thing you have to do is you have to build a road that kind of networks your city to the larger network of cities in the region.
Correct. You see, one of the things about SimCity here, and I'll spy the camera and see what they're doing, is for your city, you only are able to build in this radius, this dotted line radius. And this is not for just the beta, that when you take over a different city, and it'll be bigger, obviously, and there's different parts, you'll click on this, and that's where this is all you'll be able to work within, as far as how big your city, for your first city or whatever.
Right.
But what'll happen is, when you can't do it now, obviously, you'll come over here and we'll click on the region button, and you'll get a giant zoom out. It would be like this, but giant.
And then you would then you could put more cities down
Exactly.
in other parts of the region.
You'd see the entire region here. I'm miming with my hand, Anthony, as if we were on camera, but you'd be able to see from the top-down view that city over there and the other cities, and then there'd be other dotted line regions. Now, if you're playing by yourself, you'd be able to go to those dotted line regions, set up a second city, start going. While you're in that second city, time kind of freezes over here. You have to worry about coming back and everything being burned down. Or if you're playing multiplayer, when you zoomed out, you'd see the other dotted line regions that other players have been running their cities in.
Yeah, and I know that that's one of the big tenets of the new SimCity is that they want the interconnectivity of cities in a region to matter. So if one person has like a really industrial city, your workers can go there to get industrial jobs, and you can have like all the smart people in your town if you wanted. Another big thing I know that they've been emphasizing for a long time and that people can see here in action is the whole Glassbox thing, you know, the engine that they run it in, so everything is the big thing is that in old SimCities, you know, you had sprites representing the simulation, but in this one, they want actual things to represent the actual simulation.
These actual people. When you're up and running in your city, you're going to be able to click on these people and just follow them. And I think that's coming up actually in the demo here in a second. But basically, you know, saying, oh, I want to know what's going on with these people. I want to see what my citizens are up to. And so right in here, we need to build more residential stuff. Now, see, Anthony, in the old one, SimCity 2000, I'm sure you remember that you'd click on, you know, I want to drop residential zones, and it would say, do you want, you know, light or medium or heavy residential zones? And you can see that over here. I gotta start using the cursor and not my hands. You see the demand there being different one. They want low income housing, medium income.
No one wants high income housing yet.
Not yet, but they will. Let me tell you. And so then what you have to do is it all depends on the road and what's happening around it. Now right now I'll make these people happy. They want some more cities here, so I'm gonna start dropping over here. Now you see here I'm hitting the control button. This is because I'm a pro.
And it'll just go along the whole road.
Right, and it'll just boom, and it maps it. Because you see, the thing about this SimCity, which was confounding to me in the very beginning as a SimCity 2000 player mainly, is that you can only zone along roads. You can't just drop a zone in the middle of nowhere. It has to be connected to a road. That way, people can get to it and live off of it. Because the roads are the lifeblood. That's what I was about to talk about. Is you're not saying you want light or heavy or whatever, or expensive houses or inexpensive houses. You're building a road, and you can build a dirt road. You can build a medium capacity road. You can build this high capacity road that has a streetcar shooting down the middle of it, and that will then tell you what can be built off of it. Now, right here, you see these are trailer park homes. These aren't the nicest things in the world. They're low income.
People out in the middle of nowhere.
Exactly.
The edge of town.
And so they're living off of, this road that was pre-built for us. It looks like it's probably medium capacity. And this all starts, no matter, even if you drop the highest capacity road in the very beginning, people are moving to your town. They're trying to get going. They're blue collar. They're not going to be putting up great houses yet. So that comes with time. And what will eventually happen is you'll be playing and you'll see the roads start flashing red, similar to how these buildings are flashing red right now for the demo. And what you'll do then is you have to go up to the streets, right-click on them. You can upgrade them there, but even then, and this is what was tricky for me, and I wrote about it in my preview, is that you'll right-click on them and it'll say upgrade. We need to for the more they want high-income housing here. You'll click on it and you can't upgrade the road anymore. You're like, well, what's the problem? Back here, what you'll see, right, is that this is boxed in. One day, when this area wants to be high-income, awesome residential apartments, you will have to bulldoze this road so that these can expand out and build big buildings. You won't have to knock down the buildings like we just knocked down buildings here because those had been abandoned or maybe they were fire damaged or whatever. But back here, what it'll be is you knock it down, and then people on their own will tear down that house and build up a giant condominium.
I see. So you just have to give them the space they need to make it happen.
Exactly. Yeah. Which I like a lot because now I like it in theory. I was having problems with it during my demo,
Sure.
where people in the industry part of my city were like, "Oh, we need more room," so I'd bulldoze this road, and then nothing would happen. And then it's like, "Well, did I bulldoze the right road? Is this which way do they want to expand?"
It seems like it's going to be one of those things you have to really play to understand.
Sure, and that's
learn
what
over time.
and that's what's so exciting for me about SimCity is like there's so much going on here, and I hope that it doesn't count against our hour because I'd like to show you a lot more, right, and show what's up and see exactly a little bit more of what's going on because there's so much going on in the hood as far as watching where sewage goes, watching where power goes, watching where crime goes, and I think we get a taste of that here in a second, but it's definitely not the same as saying, oh, well, here's my city, here's what I can do.
That's interesting that you can just hold control to do it like that because the way they've always shown it before is you almost like you drag it, right?
Right.
It's like,
yeah. You see, I'm a speed builder. I will tell you, Anthony, I impressed many of the Maxis employees when I hit $1 million. One guy walked by and he's like, I've never had $1 million. And
Wow.
so I was able to get going. I was trying to figure out the best way. Here, and of course, key to moving fast, llama speed. You got to have it going at llama speed. I'll also tell you what I'm excited about, Anthony, is getting my city, because what happened during my demo, right, is I got it up and running to where it was turning a profit and everything was cool, and then I kind of just stepped away and I got a soda and a coffee, and I'm going to do that where on that first day I'm going to do it and then I'll go shower and stuff and come back like an hour later and just have,
millions
$2 million. Yeah, okay.
So, I mean, yeah, that's one of the big things you have to worry about in SimCity is managing your budget. Your
Right.
budget is really like your number one resource for your city. I mean, population matters because they're what helps determine your budget, but going over budget means that you won't have the money you need to do the things that you want to do with your city. Right.
And one of the things I was finding is that when they open it up for multiplayer, and this is another one where multiplayer is still a big question mark right now, right? Ooh, you're gonna need to see the region finally. So here's what I was talking about, right? This is our city. This is where we're able to build right now, and it looks big from out there, but you already saw not that big, right?
Right.
And if you're playing single player, you'd have this, but right now that's somebody else's city in theory of what's happening here in
Right.
multiplayer. And so your cities are connected. And this is actually a good transition, like we knew it was gonna happen. What I found is when I had my city up and running in multiplayer, I all of a sudden started losing people over here. People were just fleeing the city, and there were little dudes coming. Like, it was all these red guys just leaving, like all these red icons. I'm like, what the hell's happening? And it turned out over here they like knocked down their taxes. They were like no taxes at all. So everybody's like, oh, I'm gonna move to that city. And they're all getting on the highways like, God damn it.
That's not cool.
Yeah. Oh, this is one of the great work sites too. I talk about it in.
Yeah, finding a great work site can kind of determine everything that you build in that area.
Oh, here we're buying water rather than trying to do our own stuff. It's fine, whatever. And see, now we're getting water from that city. Great.
Right. I mean, this is just a demonstration of how inter-region or
Sure.
inter-city, inter-region stuff works.
And now we need to place our water tower. But yeah. Are they still talking Simlish?
Yeah.
I like that enough.
So yeah, you get different types of. One of the things I know that you talked about in your preview, I guess what I'm trying to say is that it isn't like the old SimCities in the sense that you're constantly like building this building, knocking it down to replace with this building.
Right.
It's more like you provide upgrades to the building itself.
Yeah, it's one of those things we always talk about how, everything has RPG elements. Everything is leveling up this, that, or the other. And that's exactly what is happening here. I don't know if it'll show us in this demo, but like with the coal plant, like you can click on it and you can add little things to it. Rather than bulldoze your coal plant or make another coal plant on the other section of the city to give everybody more power. I don't know if they let me here. No. You can click on it and you can actually put in, say, okay, you know, I want to have more burners. For your clinic or your ambulance, you can put more ambulances in there. You can put expansions so you have more waiting rooms for patients, more patient rooms.
Right.
There's all these different things. You can put jail cells in the police station, more police cars.
Yeah, it's interesting, because that way, if you wanted to build more fire support, you don't have to build a whole new fire station. You can just build more like garages for trucks.
Yeah, you see, and I'll turn out. So you see, oh well, damn you. Oh, now they're showing the whole crime element, which is cool.
Yeah, it's interesting that you can actually see the criminals driving around. Sometimes
right.
You'll see the arsonist drive around and then set fire to a building.
Yeah, it's one of those things and that's also saying that's one of those things for Podcast Beyond fans. You know, if there's other cities, obviously they've talked a lot about that, how the crime will come over there, similar to how my citizens were fleeing to go to the other city with the lower taxes. Bad people will come from bad towns. I was talking about it this morning, Anthony. One of the things I'm looking forward to the most is making a dirt road town and just seeing what's going to happen if I don't ever do anything and I just have this constant little...
Well, it did say right there, it said uneducated and unemployed Sims will turn to a life of crime.
Yeah,
so
I'm gonna make this Dust Bowl in one of my towns.
You're going to make a horrible crime city.
So see, here's what we're talking about too, right? You get to follow around and see what exactly is happening. You can do this on a sim-by-sim basis when you actually get into the game.
I mean, it gives you an idea. If you see that a garbage truck is struggling to get around and pick up garbage, then you can see, even without going to one of the more like grid type views, that you have a garbage problem.
Right. Well, and for us, that was the bus problem, I think. Me and Dan from GameSpy, we were playing and we both put down our bus depots and our first bus stations, and then you start laying out bus stops, which I hope I get to show you here in a little bit, which are really cool because you get to see them all connect rather than be kind of lost as far as what... I'm going to see if I can drop this... I just dropped the sewage plant right on these people. I went, look at all the poop, flow to it. I love this game. Anyways, when we started doing the bus stuff, like it would show your wait times, right? Of like, oh, it's taking this long for buses and this long. And it was like me and Dan are then sitting around trying to figure out how to drop that and do this. It was pretty cool. Let's close the data map.
So yeah, this is another one of those informational layers that you can see in SimCity to kind of let you understand the way things are working really fast.
Oh, it's up there. Sorry. I'm what do you want? Oh, the big arrow. Click where the big arrow is. I'm not a PC gamer. Let's see what we got here. I got some fires going on.
Uh-oh.
I like the pigtails on the grandmother in a business blazer.
Their neighbor's house is on fire.
We'll fix that, Anthony, with the fire department. But like, it's one of those things, you know, you're dropping fire departments, you're dropping parks. You'll see as you go down, you'll get economic benefits from these things, and you'll see the ring of where it goes and what it does, and then people get really happy, and that's where like the nice houses start to get built.
Right. So if you improve their quality of life, and they have money, they'll naturally improve their
right.
Their living situation.
Yeah. Like, and what I did, you know, for where I started in my town when we were going. Oh, here we go. Finally, I get to show you some upgrading stuff, right? The classrooms, they need classrooms here. Yeah, exactly. So you get to bring it over here, right? And you can put it on all sorts of things. And when you get your city hall, you can start dropping things on top of things. So you're building up rather than out, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah. That's how cities work.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. It's once you've established what your city's going to be. Ran through the demo, got some fires going on there.
Happiness, another major thing that matters here.
Yeah. Unhappy. Why are you unhappy? You can click on it in the real game. What do you want me to do? Click on the happiness map. Which one's that? There we go. Wow.
That's another thing that they do in this game that I really like is everything is color coded and things that you understand as
at a glance. At a glance, yeah.
Everyone understands a stop sign or a stoplight, and it's like this is so you know red is bad, yellow is okay, and green is good.
Green is so good. You want a bright green, yeah. Oh, good. We're gonna get to talk about great worksite here in a second. Oh, no, we're not. I thought we were building an airport. Nope, we're talking about the gambling area.
But it is interesting, just to talk about that for a second, that if you have a great work site like an airport in the region, then everyone can work together to put an airport in the region that will benefit you all.
Right. So right here, the great work site. Right. You can put down the Argo Cities, a giant stadium, airports, stuff along those lines. You can put down little stadiums in your area and stuff like that. Here you go.
But if you do a regional one, it benefits everyone.
Exactly. So, and it's one of those things like, and this is what tricked me, Anthony. I was telling you how I had all the money, right? I was like, oh man, I got $1 million. Nobody else gets $1 million. Awesome, whatever. I was like, I'm awesome. But then I was like, oh, I can continue to. I was getting ready to move to my second city, to start a second city, see what that was like. But then I saw the great work site when I zoomed out, and I went over there, and it's like you can build the argology here or whatever. It'll cost $1 million. Like take the money, do it. And as soon as I did that, then it was like, oh, but it needs all these resources. Like, and it's a lot of resources. So it's kind of one of those things where not only did I need to be producing the resource, then somebody else in the town would be need to be doing this and that.
So you produced all the fun. Oh, they're having a natural disaster.
Oh my god. Oh, well, I'm already leaving.
But that was an example of how you could visit someone else's
Exactly,
city.
yeah. And like if Anthony and I were playing, I could go over there and look at your city that way and see what's going on, see what you're doing, and get ideas. What's we got going on here?
Ah, Wegweg.
Wegwez. And this is, there we go. Good. Now we're ready to play the game. All right. Good stuff, Anthony.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it so far.
I mean, I can't wait. I cannot wait for this game to come out. Here we go. Starting in Clearwater. Yeah.
So now we're gonna get to build a city.
We're gonna start from scratch, and then now we'll get a better idea of what's happening. Here's the interesting thing: if you remember SimCity 2000, I felt like there was a cadence to what you were doing. Drop your industrial zone, drop your housing zone, drop a power plant, let it all get going. But then people were starting to demand police, fire, schools right away. I played, like I said, for 6 hours total, and I would say probably more like 4 single player, 2 hours multiplayer, maybe 3 and 3. And when I was doing it, no one ever demanded a school. It's one of those things where since you can commute. People, I think they give you more leeway as far as what exactly is happening in terms of, oh, okay, what's happening. What do we need? What do we
gotta
need?
draw a road.
Get it. What does this lady want? I know. Don't worry. I got it. But anyways, your objectives pop up here. You see what's going on. You get to move with your mouse. For people who don't use mice, it's very weird. For me.
Who doesn't use a mice?
Who doesn't use the mices?
Who use a mouse every day?
Not until recently, actually. Not until recently. Now... yeah, so these are the different densities. This is what I was talking about before, right? Obviously, they show you little pictures here to show you exactly what's happening.
What it can turn into.
Exactly. And so you know where you're going from. It was recommended early on in my demo that you use medium density streets. I agree with that. I'm sure that doesn't surprise you.
Just to start, anyway.
Exactly. So you actually get going. There we go.
Okay, so now your city is one road at the moment.
Exactly. Now here's an interesting thing. Now it's not grid-based anymore. You can do whatever you want, right? So you can come in and you can put in crazy-ass arching roads.
Right, you can make a really weird looking.
Exactly, yeah. You can do old squiggly line road. You can do whatever you want. See, I gotta use too much money. There you go. See, I don't want to actually have that happen. But what's interesting, Anthony, is that there's no more grid, right? There's no real grid happening here.
Right.
But these lines pop up to give you kind of a guide work of what's happening, and this is something.
If you want to grid it.
Exactly, and so but it benefits you as far as like if. I drag it out there, and so then it kind of knows, and then if I drag it up here, it'll eventually pop up another one. But what it's doing is giving you the chance to say, okay, there it is. This is what they were talking about with the whole density thing. That this is kind of a good density, because what I didn't like at all when I was first started playing is that I'm so used to the grid, and I'm so used to building out that I would drop that there, right, and then I would come over and I would be, all right, they want residential right now. And I would do the old control thing, and I wanted it to fill in, and so these little trailer park homes pop up along here,
right.
And it's like that sucks. I want you
have a bunch of wasted
I want to
space.
I want to go 2 by 2 by 2,
Sure.
A street 2 by 2, street 2 by 2, and it was one of those things. Yeah, it looks ugly in the beginning, but as
fill it in.
Exactly. If you're playing well and you're doing everything you needed to get done, it's gonna look really good.
So it shows you kind of ideal zoning for the way it will work in the future.
Exactly, and that I didn't get in the beginning. So if there's anything to take away, ladies and gentlemen, from watching right now, it is that. Believe in yourself and you can do anything, as the Arthur theme song used to say. Remember that?
I don't actually.
Oh, well, I mean, we were already too old for the Arthur show.
I know. I think you're just admitting that you used to watch Arthur.
Totally. I'm as proud of it as I am this game show. It's a Mallrats quote. And then bananas and pajamas were the jam too. Bananas.
So you got some industrial section going up.
Yep.
Now no one has power though.
I know. Yeah. And see, now here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. You see, I'm moving at super speed because that's how I play. So you got to make sure you pause it when you're starting to get into this kind of jizz. That's not a word. And it kind of sounds gross, but I'll keep going. What kind of power plant you want, Anthony?
I don't know. Do we want to be clean to start? I know that the clean ones don't typically put out as much power.
Exactly. Yeah.
So you need more of them a lot of times.
I'm gonna go coal.
Yeah, for now. I mean, we're an early city.
Yeah, and we're a beta. I just want to show people what's happening here. See, and this is interesting too, right? You don't, and it's not no longer, but you don't have to do the thing where you have to bulldoze or anything. I can drop this and just destroy everything that's there, which I think I might do, but I might not.
Well, the people aren't going to necessarily like having a coal plant so close to their homes.
Exactly, but it's one of those things. I'm the mayor. I got to worry about the bottom line here, Anthony.
Sure, and you can always force them to move their
Exactly.
homes.
I can I can rezone later and stuff, but that is true that I don't want to do it too bad, but I don't want to spend all my money.
Yeah, that's the other thing is that I guess you eventually, when you have a lot of money, you can always redesign, do some shuffling.
Yeah. Every day I'm shuffling, as they say. So dropping over here. No, what did I do wrong?
I like that it shows you the wind direction too, in case you do want to see.
Exactly. So you can get it away from people and not have them drowning in smokes.
Okay, so we got a power plant.
Yeah, and call me old-fashioned, but I like to give people some kind of separation, right, between their zones. And I know it's an old-fashioned.
Of course,
idea.
I mean, no one wants to live next to an industrial zone, right?
I mean, it's gonna happen. No, there's no way for me to stop that. I'm sorry.
Sure.
I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen
but
of our town.
No one wants to live there. They
Sure.
do sometimes.
Well, they want right now. They just want to be close to their jobs, their families,
Exactly.
their horrible lives.
So for now, you're building industrial sections for them to go work, but eventually they're going to want to also spend the money that they're making it work.
Exactly.
So we gave them water. We have power.
Yep, and you see it all flowing.
Yep. Now their houses are all getting connected to the grid.
Yep. Petition to build town halls approved, but I don't have the money for it, I bet. So let's get out of that. And then come over here. There's my town hall. Oh, that's free.
That's free.
I'm sorry. I'm thinking. You'll see what I mean. Well, maybe not in this beta, but later on.
Modules added to town hall become really expensive.
Same thing though. I want to come in here and I want to. We want it in the residential area a little bit, right? And then we start building out commercial this way. I think.
Yeah.
How's that sound, Anthony?
That poor person that moved in that home is gonna
Shouldn't
have
have
to get
done
it out
that.
of the
He
way.
should have known how things were going. Get the hell out of the way, you fool. I'll tell you what, Anthony. I could quit my job and play this all the time.
If only you could be paid to be a real mayor. Maybe we should vote for you for the mayor of San Francisco.
Well, I don't want to take over this place. It's impossible to make anything work here.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Maybe if you were doing
I
it,
fix it, you think?
the things would run on time.
I did not play
Some of us might have to lose our homes.
Real quick, something I don't appreciate, no undo button. So I just dropped that a little, not where I wanted it to go, right?
Yeah.
Screwed it up. Now I can't undo it. I could demolish it, I guess.
Yeah.
What do you like for the city name?
IGNville? Yeah.
I'm gonna play this so much. I can't wait. God damn it, Anthony. Do you understand how much I like this game?
It's peaceful.
It's super peaceful, and this is what I talked about.
Something easy just to lose yourself to,
exactly.
right?
This is what I was talking about in the preview, right? That you could. I just was totally lost in it, and I forgot. I wasn't paying attention at the time, and not that I had other things to do. Obviously, I got no life, but I was just like, holy crap! Like when this comes out, it's over for a while. I was telling Charles I'm gonna take the day off, but I think what I'm gonna do is take the day off and come in and just do this. Just play and talk the whole time I do it, or not talk if you don't want me to talk.
Commentaries,
live streams, whatnot.
Yeah. No, it's entrancing even to just watch, right, as the little people build their cities super fast and.
Yeah, and that's the thing I like to do is I talked about in the preview, right? Is that my first reaction was, why are the cities so small? Like I want to have a giant city. I want to do my metropolis. I want to have all the space in the world to build. But then the more I thought about it afterwards, because I've thought a lot about this game since I did it, it's totally like, well, you know what? That's not totally true. I want to have that dirt road town, and I want to. One of the things that we won't get to probably in the hour are city specializations, right? You pop in here and you can tell your city what you can give it a specific thing. And this comes into play when I was trying to build the Argopolis or whatever, right? I needed like excuse me, 100,000 TVs to build this. And so what I would have had to do is come into the electronics and then not in beta, make the processor factory, right? But then as you see, it starts once I hit all these objectives, I can move. Well, that's how I unlocked being able to build it, not in the beta obviously. But then over here, I have to manufacture all these processors, which would have come from the processors.
And then you can make an electronic.
And then I'd come over here, and yeah, exactly. It's one of those things. It's like again,
you got to dedicate yourself.
I'm leveling up, and that's what they're talking about as far as city specializations, right? That you're sitting there and you're making this. You're honing in on what you want your city to be. You're making a choice, and you can start off. You can plop down a bunch of stuff real quick too. If you want a lot of tourism, drop the hell out of these things. Drop the hell out of the monuments because they all sorts of stuff here. I mean, Washington Monument. This is how we were doing a whole bunch of the challenges or whatever. But then like casinos and whatnot, you start with this, like I was saying, a gambling house, right? But you can work your way up to having the elegant casino. You can become God, I can't wait for this game.
Some of those resources that you were talking about earlier too, when you were building the Argopolis. I know that they have the global economy thing going on too.
Right.
So when it launches, there will be the ability to buy resources from the community at large, and if people are spending a lot on a certain resource, its value will go up. If they're not, it'll go down. So you actually have to work within like a global economy.
Exactly, which is super interesting, right? And that's the thing they talked about at the preview event, but I'm obviously trying to play hands-on and see what's going on, and I didn't get to see that in action. It's one of those things like I was talking about.
It all sounds really cool.
Yeah, it sounds intimidating in a way, though, right? Like I'm like, wow, I just want to make a city. I don't, I don't know about the global economy and yet but best of luck to you. Right now, I'm gonna drop a sewage plant because people are bitching about that, like they always do.
Well, not only that, but I imagine that at some point, you also have to worry about pollution too. Like you have all these houses right next to that industrial sector that's constantly popping out smoke and.
Yeah. Let me drop this and get things going here. People want more industrial than I was giving them. A little bit commercial too.
Yeah, I was gonna say at some point they're gonna want to spend all that money.
See, I built it around my town hall. I figure that's like city center.
Yeah, the city center. They're gonna go shopping. They can stare at their beautiful town hall.
Exactly. This is what you wanted, isn't it? All right, so we got that done.
Uh oh.
What happened?
Everyone just got unhappy.
I wasn't paying attention.
Let's
see why they're unhappy. What's going on, little guy?
It doesn't really matter why they're unhappy. They'll live with it.
I think it was they were unhappy that there was no sewage because we're moving at super speed. So.
Yeah.
Well, where's the shopping in town? They're just bitching that they want more commercial.
It's coming.
Exactly. All right, give me some time. I'm building on commercial centers. I'm doing this over here. They really want it. But you see, even it's industrial right now. They want, but they're starting to get their needs met. So yeah. Here's what I was talking about with the data maps, right?
Yeah.
Like you can see all this different stuff. You see where people are, where they're living, what their happiness.
This is kind of replacing the old SimCity like graphs that it used to have.
Now here's something interesting that if I can find it before I just start talking, I should probably find it before I talk.
You got a good fire risk though. You're like low fire risk all around.
Yeah, nobody's in the town yet. That's a big problem. No, hold on. No. You're gonna have to vamp, Anthony, vamp.
Do you want to see? Are you trying to find the poop map?
Here we go. No. I'm trying to find oil. Like you have natural resources. I don't, but other towns do. So like one of the towns we were in is if you drop this right away, you could see where there were oil deposits, right? So you could see what you could be mining. Here's ore. Man, this town is nothing. Nothing. Well, when you start your other town, you get to choose where you go.
Sure, and you could do that, and then that could kind of help determine your specialization.
Exactly,
too,
and you could
like if this region's
and
rich.
And it's one of those things I didn't get the chance to build out, but it would definitely influence how I would have set up the town if I had thought about it the first time, right? It's like, oh man, like we have a ton of oil under the streets, we could be making that and selling it on that global economy. That's
right.
The big
So
thing
then you'd build your housing far away from where you know the oil plant's gonna go.
Yeah. I'm gonna focus on building a little bit here. Okay. We show some cool stuff.
Yeah. Let's keep going.
I love this game.
I think people like to just watch too.
Okay, then I'll be quiet.
No, I mean we can still talk a little bit. It's nice that it actually tries to auto finish the road like that, even though it wasn't a perfect grid.
You know me so well.
And it's interesting too that you'll do that, right? But that part's still zoned, so they'll rebuild in there.
Right, and that's what I love about it. Like I felt in SimCity, and that's one of the things I'm sure they're addressing is that there was a lot of hand-holding in SimCity as far as for your people, right? Like just go. You know what you're supposed to do. You're an industrial zone. Build on that. You know, don't make me do everything. You just go. I'm the mayor. I don't have time. You know what you're doing.
And I think maybe that sort of attitude is why you got ahead of everyone so much faster, because everyone else was like, I don't know if I want to destroy this building.
Oh yeah, you gotta crack some eggs to make a SimCity.
I guess, Greg, one of the things I've been thinking about a lot too is whether or not do you think I know that you can't, so there isn't the option to play entirely single player. Like you are connected to this world no matter what. But do you think that you'll be playing online with friends in a region, or do you think you'll want like a region like this is Greg's region? I
think I'm gonna have a bajillion cities.
Okay.
I really think that's what it's going to come down to, and that's definitely different than how I played SimCity 2000, which was my main jam. Like I was in college when the other SimCity started coming, or not all of them, obviously. Whatever. I stopped telling Greg Miller stories. I think that's going to be my jam as far as that. I'm going to just have a bunch of different ones, and I hope that I have a region with you, and I have a region with Charles, and I'm trying to convince Colin. Colin's going to buy a PC for this game, and it's like I want one with him, and I want all these different cities, and I have a feeling like that, I'll just have all these different things going until I get them to where I'm like, I'm fine with this city. There's nothing really left for me to do here, so I'm going to go focus on this. I'm going to go focus on that.
Oh,
there you
petition
go.
to build a gambling house approved.
Well, let's see if we can do that. See, this will boost commercial, obviously.
I think part of the reason, too, that the maps may be a little bit smaller than they were in, say, SimCity 2000 is that because they have that Glassbox simulation going,
right.
I imagine that's a lot more taxing.
Totally,
too.
totally. And that's all. And, like, that's the thing. And it's one of those things. I talk about it in the preview that, like I said, it's jarring at first. You want to sit down and you're like, I want to make this giant freaking awesome, amazing monstrosity of a city, and then you're like, well, I can't do this, that, or the other. But the way they do everything, the way it all comes together, I think works out. Always build too much too. You see that I stop early and then I have to go back. And do
I know. Well, you're having a little bit of a traffic problem there, and you can actually see it.
Right. Because I'm building into I'm doing this commercial zone and stuff. And when
it's just that you have a bunch of housing, commercial area, and shopping all right there. Everyone wants to be in that part of town, right by City Hall.
Right. Yeah. So we'll have to drop some buses here in a little bit. But right now I want to get some more money flowing in the city. So we'll start building this. We'll drop our gambling house out here.
Wow, you're slumming it up real fast.
Oh, no, hold on. Let's see. This is the one problem with llama speed. Sometimes people pop up and they're like, no, I don't want it. Thank you. That was nothing. Get out.
But there are advisors to help you out.
That's one of the things. Like right here, like there's a guide for everything you're going into. Like roads. There you go. And when I click over here, I want to go in there. There's a zoning guy too, and he's telling me stuff already. What are you saying, zone man?
Not enough freight consumers.
Industry should.
Yeah, there's lots of tooltips to help you build a more efficient city if you want, or you can just ignore them completely because who cares?
Right. Live your life.
But yeah, it's interesting that there's always a cost to everything associated. Not only a monetary cost, but like for instance, Greg built that casino, but I know that casinos can bring in more crime too. So these are all things you have to be aware of when you're doing this.
See, now what I would be able to do in the real thing is upgrade
it to a high density.
Exactly. That way people could not be so freaking out about everything.
The beta's a little restricted.
Of course. We only got an hour running up against the deadline probably already.
Some people I see little thought bubbles above some of
your
people's homes.
Hotels.
Not only is there no hotels, but some people were wishing that there was a hospital.
I finally can take a shower at night. You want cough. All right. So let's do that then. Click that guy off. Come over here. Now okay, so we're gonna have to stick with the clinic. $20,000. I don't even have that yet.
All right, nobody travel somewhere else if you want to take care of your medical.
It's your own fault, man. Stay healthy. Oh, he's sick too.
Yeah, you got a small little plague spreading.
We'll be all right. We're gonna power through this.
Yeah, the funny thing is like if you don't have a firehouse, and a fire can totally spread.
Oh yeah, totally.
And there are like burn temperatures for specific buildings, and things can get out of hand real fast. Yeah, you I think because you're very efficient, you always build it in like grids.
I try to, yeah, but see, like you can see
that
I
I
got
the
my lines off there. That's great.
But when I played immediately, because I was like, oh, curved road ability,
nice.
I was just like draw curved
I was
roads.
like, oh, that thing's hitting. I can't.
But you end up with huge wasted spaces. Too.
Exactly. I did. If you look at one of my screenshots in my preview, they sent from because you can take screenshots obviously whenever you're playing. There's one that I did, and I just was not happy with it, and it was like, ugh, why did I do that? Like, I screwed up everything.
You can build really cool, unique-looking cities, and I'm sure that people will no doubt build some really.
Oh, I can't wait!
Like a Mickey Mouse head or something, that's a city, but it's that sort of emergent gameplay that I'm sure will be the most interesting to see when people start posting their own videos from it.
Anthony, I'm a big fan of parks.
Well, they do improve the quality of life and make everyone happy. So everyone in that region will be more happy.
Boom.
Oh, yeah. They like that.
Yeah, they did.
And so when they get happier, they have more money, then they can build nicer homes. Water playground park. Wow.
Yeah, you like that?
Yeah.
Now, you notice it's not one of the ones that's giving me a buff. I'm not getting a buff on the happiness, but these people deserve it all the same.
They still like it.
Yeah, but it doesn't give me that radius showing me like, oh, here, these people are going to be thrilled.
Yeah, but now your people
still works
for all the industrial stuff they had to put up to and all the homes that they've had to get rolled through. They've also
they've already gone through so much this year.
Oh
yeah, I can drop a clinic too now. Let's drop the clinic next to the park. What do you say?
Yep. You can always increase taxes too, right? If you wanted to.
Yeah, I could. But you run the risk obviously of running people out of town.
Yeah.
All right, so now that's the going.
Right. So for now, it's not the greatest hospital, but you could always add more ambulance modules to it.
And you do it right here. You click on it, right, and you get to see a little thing. It comes out, hey, guys, what's up?
It's a very humble clinic.
Habadoo. Jibadoo.
Oh, but look, now because you've improved the quality of life enough, those people are moving out of their trailer park tiny homes, starter homes.
It's happening.
Now they're building.
IGNville's taking off.
You got
just like IGN.
You got a nice little community going on.
Need more jobs, of course, though. Such peaceful music, Anthony.
Yeah. I mean, the guys at Maxis have always understood. I mean, they're the best, right, when it comes to simulation stuff, you know? They've been...
Nope.
That's the studio that created The Sims. It's the studio that created SimCity. Spore, if you liked Spore. Some people didn't. I thought it was pretty cool.
I didn't play it. But I believe you. Anything Anthony likes, Greg Miller likes. Except vegetarians.
It's nice that they've returned back to sim stuff after making Darkspore. Not their best work.
Well, you gotta branch out. You gotta try different things. That's what life's all about.
I totally agree. But you know, it's been over a decade since the last proper SimCity.
Is that true? God damn.
Yeah, SimCity 2000 was really it. There was a game called SimCity Societies, but a lot of people weren't big fans of that.
How did I get? I'm bulldozing this. Oh, it's broken there. All right, we're just gonna cap that road. Not have to deal with it ever again.
It's gonna be where the water park ends.
Oh, no, hold on. I wanna. Oh God. See,
you gotta come out a little bit. It's gonna be a little bit of an odd spot, but that's okay as long as you got. The whole point is that you have your water park there.
I ruined everything.
And it's created somewhat nicer homes. Not immediate. In that immediate area, though, everyone's still living in starter homes. But for some reason, that sector up there.
Look at all my crooked roads now. I'm a monster. I've become everything I hate.
Well,
here, let's say it crazy. It's a beta. I don't need to actually worry about it.
Okay.
Whoa. What are you doing there, Chief? There we go.
Oh my God. That's nice though. It'll be a nice little scenic drive.
Yeah.
And look, I like the way that. That's actually a good thing to show is that it changed your grid formation
right.
now to show the perfect zoning for a curve line as well, if you want to do it that way. Oh my God! Now you're just getting crazy.
There's gonna be lots of wasted space, but in the end, well, yeah. I see. I gotta put this back on here. I'm getting too crazy here, and I hate that. This is why I stick with the grids, Anthony. This is why I stick with the grids.
I think it looks cool.
Oh, I'm getting out of my element. I got cocky. I wanted to show everybody how cool I was. With my control button, my hotkeys. All right, well that does that. If it fills in nice, we see it's one of those things. I bet in years from now, when my apartment buildings are there, it's gonna look damn fine. But right now, I'm not buying it. I'm not a fan. But if you notice, you got people we want the nice stuff over here now. They want the nice stuff, and they only want homes right now. Interesting. So I was well. See now, why are you moving in there if you only want zones? You weirdos. All right, so we got that build now. We got that going. We got this going. Commercial's fine.
I think we've shown enough, Greg.
You think so?
Probably wrap it up.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, SimCity comes out March 5th, I believe.
Yep,
right?
It does. So for that and a lot more on SimCity, where should they go, Greg?
IGN.com, of course.